everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features the top-scoring pass offense in the NFL. The Raiders are top 10 in passing TDs, and they'll go against the Broncos, who are very aware of what they'll be dealing with. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup. All right, Larry, after an off-season of questions, football is back here in the East Bay at Oakland, California. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On first down, it's Ledge. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, a great read and it's picked off.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
They come out here in the eye. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll run for the first time with Hill. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up, because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end, maybe your H-back, someone to set the edge at the line of scrimmage to give them a spot to get to. If you're not able to do that, you're not able to turn the corner.
He's going to want, and this is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyreek Hill, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch, because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
A former Cal Bear now, C.J. Anderson on the carry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Now Lynch. And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. So 3rd and 20, defense in the nickel.
Surprised they didn't go with 6 DBs, the dime look.
Here's Lynch to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. On 4th down, Colton Schmidt to punt it away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. It's taken to the 26. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will take possession. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now Carr going to give it to Murray on the draw play. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
Here we go with Hill. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. A dump off now to Hill. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 13 yards there on the pickup. Good enough for an Oakland first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They come up in an offset eye. Back to the ground game. Here's Murray. And he will lose yardage here to the 3rd. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. From the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. On now is the field goal team. Here's the Raiders. We'll try for 3. From the left hash, this from 46. That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
To throw his car. Finds Roberts left side. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Carr now on 1st down. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And they went big on 1st down. Proves unfruitful.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. Carr. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete as well. Here's Marquette King now to kick it for Oakland. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And he's got his man on the out route. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
No. Check. Patriot. Set. Blue landing. Watch him now, Barney.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. So a fumble on 2nd down. They're able to maintain possession. Brings up 3rd.
Here we go. Green. Over.
On 3rd down, Lynch. Buying time to his left. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. After the penalty, the offense now dealing with a 3rd and 19. So with this far to go, maybe they try something safe underneath.
Green 39. Back there in that belly. Detroit. Leopard. Belly. Here we go.
Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always a good play when you're able to bat a ball away or down, because if you actually tip it in the air, now the offense is getting a second shot at catching the football, or another receiver may come along and grab it out of the air and turn it into a big play. So if you make a play on the ball, make sure it's knocked away or down. Otherwise, there could be some jeopardy.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Shift together here from the D-line. They begin the drive with Hill. And an alley to run. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 20 that time. And that'll be good for an Oakland first down. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On second down, Hill. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just heading.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Oakland. 41 yards.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They get this in the hands of their speedster, Domerson. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on third down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Escaping the pressure right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. So a good kick that time, and he's able to redeem himself from the previous miss.
And fortunately for him, he got the chance to do that not long after missing the first time. Sometimes a whole game goes by, and you don't get that chance at all. So you keep it with you till the next time you take the field.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They go play action here on first down. Ledge fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. They come out here in the eye. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And they'll get him down. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. They run it again with Hill. Shreds the tackle. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyreek Hill, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
Well, 2 touchdowns scored. I know his team's happy. His coaches are happy. How about the fantasy owners of this game?
Always happy with 2, but they'd like 3 or 4. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
He's going to run. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 35. So a catch, but an easy catch. Partner, he was wide open.
If he had dropped that one, that was too wide open. That means there was some miscommunication in the secondary of the defense.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Lynch on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Lynch looking to throw on second. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They come out here in the eye. They'll run. This is Hill. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. So we've reached. All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. 3rd quarter now. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now a 10th carry for Hill. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Carr going to throw. On the move to his left. Now he'll let it go up. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 3 here in this game, and 17 now on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. He got 29 yards that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
A fake to Anderson, now it's Lynch. Rolling to his right. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. To throw again is Lynch. He's got his man on the crossing route. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that...
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
This is Hill. Hill's hit, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. Second down here. Shift together here from the D-line. Again, it's Hill. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too.
All right, here we go. Red 18.
That was second down run for Murray. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down.
All right, here we go. Red 18.
On the toss, here's Hill. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Obviously, the offense thought they had something going by trying to go wide on a short yardage play. But how about the defense expecting something in the middle and still able to adjust and sprint to the edge and make the play?
And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. So the Broncos coming out now. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Now in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. It's loose, the ball bouncing around, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, so that is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. It's going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on 3rd down.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Oakland. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. And they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he's brought down after a good gain. They'll throw on 1st down with Lynch. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot it.
And caught left side, Olsen. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
In the backfield is Anderson. Lynch now throwing on 3rd. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. 18 yards there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
2nd and 10. It's Lynch again. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Lynch. A dump off to Anderson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here we go. Lynch on 4th down. That is caught at the 7. Give him 25 yards on the play there. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation.
And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Paxton Lynch with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Carr turns, hands to Murray. And some room to work. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown. Touchdown of the season, and the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And that will bump the lead up to 26. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Lynch. Screenplay, Anderson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Time to give more credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Second and goal. There's still a decent chunk of yardage here. They're on the 8. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So they tried runs on 1st and goal and 2nd and goal. Got stonewalled. Now from here, they've got to throw, right?
I would think so.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Here's Lynch to throw. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. No. Check. Patriots.
Lynch now throwing on 3rd. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 23 yards on the play.
And he got it done in the passing game on that play. It was almost like a run because he caught it right around the line of scrimmage. Either way, he got a big chunk of yards after making the catch.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Now Lynch on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And I think the Broncos have it. They do. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, it's Lynch. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
He's going to air one out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Getting late in the 4th now, Charles. 2-minute warning just around the corner.
Yeah, some teams just want to get to that spot, take a breath, and then come out and attack for the rest of the game.
Now it's Lynch. And the tight end Olsen, right side. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
Check Patriots. Check Patriots. Here we go.
To throw is Lynch. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card.
Back there in Philly. Here we go. Set.
Throwing again here, Lynch. Flush to his right. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough 3rd down.
No. Leopard. Hurry up. Here we go. No. Check Patriots.
And the back goes into motion. Now Paxton Lynch on 3rd and long. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Sometimes it looks pretty simple, batting the ball away, but oftentimes there's some pretty good teaching and practice that goes into it. Being able to get to the receiver, not interfere, and get his hands through the football and knock it away.
And here just Just playing for pride at this point. Down big, but they'll go for it on 4th and goal. Here we go. Lynch on 4th down. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Boy, what a job there. 4th down that far away from the end zone just to get it in, get that done.
An unlikely result, but it occurred nonetheless. What a terrific play. Great way to finish and in the end zone.
And the defense has to be scratching their heads, right?
That's usually to their advantage. In that situation, they should be able to make a play on the ball, but instead it turned out to be a touchdown, and they've got to go figure it out on their sideline.
And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 2nd down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And on 2nd and 10 now. A fake to Anderson, now it's Lynch. Out to his left. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Oakland, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now.